Good evening, everybody, and welcome into the Buckeye Racing Network. I'm Tyler Bentley. Alongside me in the booth, as always, is Tim Henderson. Tim, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic. How about yourself, buddy?
I am doing wonderful. We are here with the Regal Promotions Esports 360 Sprint Series. Tonight's event is the Hoosier Throwdown at the Kokomo Speedway, presented by Royea's Grafix. Round number 5 already, Tim. I know we were off last week. So it's been since the 24th of March, and Mason Hannigan's on a 3-race win streak here in the 360 sprints. You think he can carry that on tonight, Tim?
Well, I don't know. We've had a couple off weeks. Maybe we see some new faces. Maybe we see the familiar faces. But my money would be on seeing some new faces here tonight.
Absolutely. Oh, man, Dylan Brandon, I was taking a look at his qualifying effort. He's flipping in turns 3 and 4. Ty Dickinson heading out onto the racetrack in the 67. And I know since the iRacing update, I don't think they've quite dialed in the graphics. I know these car paints are very hard to see at times as they work their way around the racetrack. And I've tried playing with my settings here before the race to see if I could get these cars to look a little bit better, but just haven't been able to do so. So bear with us tonight, and hopefully you can see enough of the cars to make a difference. Ty is 8th quick at 11:42. Fred Hoffman 2nd quick at 11:12. Michael Skirring was at a 10:93 at the pole. Trevor Royer in the 90 machine just finished up at a 10:86. Caden Berry in the 112s out on the racetrack now. That's new colors on his car this week. Different to see him in a white paint scheme. He's still got the neon green on there, though, Tim, with the neon green numbers.
I'm trying to find it. I can't.
3rd quick on the board so far for Caden at 11:04. Complete lap number 2. A little slower there, but he's still going to stay in the 3rd spot. Ryan Sheet, Ethan Milwain, Richie Gaines, Landon Cardoza, Mason Hannigan, Spencer Putney as well on the racetrack. We'll go look at our points leader as well, Mason Hannigan, in that 71, but it's got the 22 on the side of his race car, similar colors as we've seen so far this season. He goes to the top of the board at a 10.70 at the completion of lap 1. What a lap for Mason Hannigan. Lap 2 complete. Does he pick up there? Nope, just a touch slower, but still a fantastic first lap for Mason. Jimbo Rooney in the 27 heading out onto the racetrack now as well.
Well, Bentley, I might have fixed your graphic issue. I think I can tell you when we take a quick break.
Okay.
At some point.
Well, that sounds good. I'm sure everybody at home would like that as well. And really, I would like to see that as much as they would. And I think that's going to wrap up our qualifying session. 29 drivers have taken a time here, showing 2 that have it. Jay Schaff did put some laps on the track, but had some issues. Joshua Motacek, unfortunately, has not turned a lap as of yet, but that would be 31 total drivers signed in up to this point. We already went through the admin box drivers meeting tonight. Do want to give a shout out to them as they are the sponsor of that. Every driver's meeting here at Regal Promotions Esports. That admin box is designed by iRacers for iRacers. Admin box ensures seamless race control and efficient event management, keeping the focus on the action. Don't forget to use the code RPE-sports-box to save 10% on your next order. Visit admin box to learn more and take your race day experience to the next level. All right, we're going to take a look at the starting lineup for heat race number 1 here tonight. On the front row is going to be Jimbo Rooney and Ethan Milwain. Row 2 will be Michael Skirring and Mason Hannigan. Row 3 is going to be Logan Trimmer and Joseph Groom. Row 4 is going to be Matt Hinkle and Jason Lovalet. Hopefully I am pronouncing that correctly. I do believe we got a Heat 1 sponsor here tonight. Do want to give them a shout out. Right Rear Racing. A special thank you to Right Rear Racing, proud sponsor of Heat Race number 1. Be sure to tune in to catch all the excitement live streamed on their YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow them on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube for more action. All right, Tim, remind me if you could.
It'll be top 4, invert 4.
Top 4 to the feature tonight, and we have enough drivers. We will require a B main a little later on, so keep an eye on that. Justin Young says that he has missed you, Tim. Tyler Dickinson also showing us some love in the chat as well. Caden Berry fans out there tonight. Good to see them. Green flag goes in the air. We're underway in a Right Rear Racing Heat Race number 1. Rooney on the inside. Hannigan got that car wound up on the outside, wow. Tim. Shot out of a cannon into 3 and 4.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times watching the race yesterday, the cup race that is.
Absolutely.
Blaney shot out of turn 2. Hannigan took a play call out of Blaney's book.
Absolutely.
Shot out of the cannon right there. As you're going to have Scurrying look to the inside of Rooney. Rooney able to fend off the battle. As I stand corrected, Michael Scurrying to second.
Well, but Rooney tries to battle back on the inside there. Not quite able to, but look out. Here comes Logan Trimmer. He's got his car wound up there on the outside line. He's looking to take the spot from Rooney in the 27. Looks to the inside here in 3 and 4.
Oh, my goodness.
Very, very tight quarters through 3 and 4. Rooney's going to try to cross him back over on the inside. Oh, and they make contact and both go sideways. Here comes the 11 machine of Groom. He's in some different colors this week. Ooh, contact with the wall as the yellow flag gets displayed for the spin out of turn 2. Go back and take another peek at it. Keep an eye on Rooney in the 27. See, they were just tough battling for that 4th spot. Rooney was to the inside, and Logan Trimmer up there on the outside was there, and Rooney just kept going up the hill. But, I mean, the wheel was turned left. The car, I think, got tied on exit. They both make contact. Rooney gets turned completely around backwards. Trimmer was able to continue fairly easily. Rooney thankfully spun all the way around, but it was enough to draw our first yellow flag of the evening. And we're already going back to green flag action as I just picked up back on the live screen.
We got some calamity with the last 2 drivers. I don't know what happened, but
yeah, there's still some contact. Groom, Milwane back there, but Hannigan is going to round out of turn number 4 to win. Right Rear Racing Heat Race number 1. Michael Scurrying second, Trimmer 3rd. Wow. Matt Hinkle to the line takes that 4th and final transfer spot. Jimbo Rooney, Jason LaViolette, Ethan Milwane, and Joseph Groom are the non-transfer drivers out of our first heat of the night. All right, as our first heat race starts wrapping up, we're going to take a look at the starting lineup for our second heat race of the night. On row number 1 is going to be Jeremy Christensen and Ryan Sheet. Row 2, Richie Gaines and Trevor Royer. Row number 3 tonight, Charles New, Ty Dickinson. Row 4 is going to be Brian Kling and Jace Schaff. Oop, and it's the time of the evening to do the nightly reset on the timing and the scoring. So bear with me for just a moment. Much better there. Yeah, and remember the top 4 transfer here tonight. Third Party Gaming. As the green flag waves to start tonight's race, we are proud to welcome Third Party Gaming as the official green flag sponsor of Regal Promotions Esports. With over 2 years of experience in the iRacing industry, Third Party Gaming has established itself as a trusted provider of high-quality racing and competitive divisions. But that's not all. They also host thrilling tournaments for games like Rocket League and more. Be sure to follow Third Party Gaming across your favorite social media platforms. Green flag in the air, presented by Third Party Gaming in heat race number 2. Christensen, Sheet battling side by side into 3, Tim.
Yeah, you got, oh, I went the wrong way on my camera. Trevor Royer, it's been a while. He's up next to the wall. He's trying to find a way to get by the 16 machine. Nowhere to go as he shoots the middle. He shoots the gap. I don't know what you call that, but he split the middle. Hey, diddle diddle. Trevor Royer up the middle.
Absolutely, and into P2 and chasing down Ryan Sheet is only a quarter second back. Sheet's into the outside wall. Royer with a slide job, a little bit of contact. Royer takes the lead at 4 down, 4 to go in heat 2. That allows Richie Gaines to pull up to the bumper of Ryan Sheet. He's going to take a peek to the inside here, but nothing doing. Going to follow in line. Jeremy Christensen holds on to the 4th spot for now. Charles New, Jay Schaff, bumper to bumper for the 5th position. Trevor Royer trying to stretch his legs as he's up to 0.8 of a second with 2 to go. Sheet has settled into 2nd, Gaines in 3rd, Christensen 4th, but Charles New is within striking distance as they're going to get the white flag this time. Schaff goes for a spin in turn 4. Back up front, Trevor Royer rounds out of turn number 4 to win heat 2. Ryan Sheet 2nd, Gaines 3rd. Jeremy Christensen and Richie Gaines were side by side for 3rd and 4th. Gaines hold on for 3rd. Christensen will be 4th. Charles New, Jay Schaff, Brian Kling, Ty Dickinson, the non-transfer cars here in heat race number 2. Wow. All right, let's take a look at the starting lineup for heat race number 3 here tonight. On the front row of heat 3 will be Dustin Sargent and Fred Hoffman. Row number 2 is going to be Spencer Putney and Landon Cardoza. Row 3 will be Nick Larry and Gary Mansberger. Row 4, John Klibowitz and Joshua Modacek. All right, heat race number 3 as we approach the final laps of tonight's race. The white flag and this heat race number 3 are proudly presented by Elevated TV. Whether you're looking for in-depth driver interviews or full event coverage, Elevated TV elevates your viewing experience. Be sure to tune in for exclusive race content and take your race night to the next level. Find them on Facebook and YouTube for all the action. All right, Tim, how about you get us going in Elevated TV heat number 3?
All right, we're going to have Dustin Sargent lead the field, as Bentley just said. They're going to pace down the backstretch. They're going to get all sorts of antsy as they are firing away down into turn 1. Sargent holding off everyone, and Cardoza just out of nowhere. I seen him. He came through the field. He split everyone through the middle, and he's all the way up. He's going to take 2nd, and he's going to take the charge to the lead. He's going to lead lap 2.
Yeah, what a run on the outside for Cardoza. Now up to half a second over Sargent and the 777, and they're racing hard for the 3rd spot. Spencer Putney, Nick Larry, Gary Mansberger, Fred Hoffman, all a part of this 4-car battle. As Putney moves into the 3rd position, Larry back to 4th and trying to fend off Hoffman and Mansberger behind him. Up front, Cardoza and Sargent running 1, 2, 8, now 9/10 of a second apart. Keeping an eye on this battle for the transfer as Larry holds on to it for now. Under 3 laps to go. Take a peek up here at Cardoza in the 121 machine as he is up to a 2.25 over Sargent. Single file for the top 4. Hoffman and Mansberger side by side for the 5th spot for a moment there. Hoffman retains the 5th spot for now. Cardoza has taken the white flag, moved his race car down to the bottom, just going to ease it through 3 and 4. Landon Cardoza wins Elevated TV Heat 3. Dustin Sargent second. Putney will be third. Larry fourth. Fred Hoffman, John Klimowicz, Gary Mansberger, Joshua Motocek, the non-transfer drivers here in heat number 3. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for our 4th heat here tonight. Row number 1 will be Joseph Truskowski and Alex Szerzynski. Row 2 is going to be Caden Berry and Bowen Smith. Row 3, Stephen Metcalf, Ty Williams. Row number 4 will be Dylan Brannon. Also tonight, Regal Promotions Esports has picked up a new sponsor. We also have this for the Buckeye Racing Network, the RMR Driving Academy. Special thank you to Richard Murtaugh Driving Academy for being the proud presenting sponsor of our league. Each night, they generously award several of our drivers with a 1-month membership through our random drawing bonus. Want to sharpen your skills behind the wheel? Check out RMR on Facebook or visit their website today to see how you can how they can help you get up to speed.
I'm gonna have to get a hold of that because clearly I can't drive.
Oh, now Tim, don't dock yourself.
The only thing I see are the tail lights of Bentley's car going off into the sunset.
Green flag is out in heat race 4. Truskowski, Szerzynski side by side. Szerzynski to the lead out of 2. Caden Berry on the bottom side of the racetrack looking to work his way into the top spot. Tried sliding up and actually got passed by Smith in the 0-1-2. Berry's not going to give up down on the inside. But the 412 machine of Truskowski battling hard as well with Bowen Smith. Up front, Szerzynski trying to stretch his advantage out ever so slightly. Bowen Smith into P2. Berry moves up the racetrack a little bit into 3rd. Go ahead, Tim.
I can't believe that some of these guys are just able to keep up on the bottom. And like that whole inside, like 3 lanes of the inside, the first 3 lanes is like inverted. And I don't understand how they do it.
Yeah, it's something else. Throttle control and steering wheel inputs, I guess, is how they get it done. They're battling for the 5th spot, Metcalf and Brannon. They keep trading it back and forth. 2 to go for Szerzynski out front. And he is getting caught by the 0-1-2 of Bowen Smith. He is there as we take the white flag here. Smith's going to look down to the inside through 1 and 2. Szerzynski's going to keep the momentum on the outside. Smith on the bottom, Szerzynski on the outside, and Alex Szerzynski wins heat 4. Smith 2nd, Berry 3rd, Ty Williams 4th in the final transfer. Stephen Metcalf, Dylan Brannon, Joseph Truskowski will go to the consolation here. All right, I believe this should be our B main here tonight. Starting lineup for our 618 engraving and design B main will be Jimbo Rooney and Charles New, row 1. Fred Hoffman, Stephen Metcalf, row 2. Jason LaViolette, Chase Schaff, row number 3. John Klimowicz, Dylan Brannon, row 4. Ethan Milwain, Brian Kling, row 5. Gary Mansberger, Joseph Truskowski will be in the 6th row. Row 7 is going to be Joseph Groom and Ty Dickinson. Row 8 will be Joshua Motocek. All right, as I said before we got the grid, 618 engraving and design. Every caution flag, fastest lap, and B main tonight is proudly presented by 618 engraving and design. Whether you need custom hats, koozies, or cutting boards, 618 engraving and design delivers precision, craftsmanship for any event. Visit them online to explore their incredible custom products. All right, Tim. This B main about to get underway. How about you get us started?
I hope it was me. We're going to have Jimbo Rooney lead him through 3. He's going to fire as that 21 was trying to time it. He may have gotten a little upset off the exit of 4 as he's still able to hold on to second. As you're going to have Stephen Metcalf shot out of a cannon out of turn 2. He's looking to take second place. He dives down in. I don't know. There's so much going on. I don't know what to call here.
Yeah, fierce battling for the second position. What was the number needed here, Tim, for this? I think it was the top
showing 6.
6. Okay, so Fred Hoffman and Jason Love-Violette are 5th and 6th. Truskowski and company behind him are on the outside looking in. You got Rooney, New, Schaff, then Metcalf, Hoffman, and Violette, the top 6. Truskowski, Kling, Klimowitz, Mansberger, who is in a dogfight back here, trying to get up to the 6th place position car to challenge. Up front.
Metcalf shut the door on Jay Schaff. I don't know if you've seen that down the backstretch. Schaff able to just work by Metcalf as Metcalf just had a little wall glue there.
Oh, we got a car spun here at the inside of turn 1, bringing out the 618 engraving and design caution. Go back and take a look. I believe it involved 3 cars. Ethan Milwain, Ty Dickinson, and Dylan Brannon, I believe, were involved. Looks like Dickinson kind of got maybe tight up the car, got upset through 3 and 4. Got it straightened back out down the front straightaway. And let's see what happens here into 1 and 2. Dickinson really sideways. There's the 37 of Milwain. They make the contact. And I think that's Brannon there that also gets collected. So, and they all spun down to the inside. It was enough to bring the yellow flag out because the leaders quickly approached that trio at the inside of 1 and 2. Still got, will be 3 laps to go when we get the green. Jimbo Rooney, Charles New, Stephen Metcalf, the top 3. Jay Schaff, Fred Hoffman, Joseph Truskowski improves to the 6th position for now. We're going to monitor that in the final laps of this B main. Green flag back in the air. New takes a peek to the inside of Rooney out of 2. Rooney retains the top spot for now. Schaff got a challenge to the outside of Charles New and makes that pass. Closes in on the rear tail tank of Rooney. Truskowski holds the 6th spot for now. Violet took a peek to the inside. White flag waving. Jay Schaff battling Rooney. Oh, almost contact down the back straightaway. Who's going to prevail out of 4? Rooney with the momentum on the outside wins the V-main. Schaff 2nd. Metcalf 3rd. Hoffman 4th. New 5th. And Truskowski holds on to the final transfer spot. Love Violette, Klimowitz, Groom, Kling, Dickinson, Brandon, Milwain, Mansberger, and Motocek do not advance into the main event here tonight, unfortunately for them. Well, the field is set. Our 5-minute warm-up timer is on. Cars heading out on the racetrack to warm up. We're going to take a second and step aside here for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back for the starting lineup for our main event.
are capable of winning races. But you can't do it alone. It's time to elevate your game to the next level with RMR Driving Academy. Richard Murtaugh is the longest-running setup builder on iRacing with nearly a decade of experience. With a combined 13,000 rating across 2 accounts, Murtaugh has helped more than 20 drivers advance to the World of Outlaws Pro Series. Log on to rmrdrivingacademy.com.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. The warm-up session has been complete. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for our feature here tonight. 22 cars will start. On row 1 will be our 3-time winner this season, 3-time defending winner at that, Mason Hannigan, and then Trevor Royea on his outside. Row 2 will be Landon Cardoza and Alex Szerzynski. Row 3, Michael Skirring and Ryan Sheet. Row number 4, Dustin Sargent, Bowen Smith. Row 5, Logan Trimmer and Richie Gaines. Row number 6 tonight, Spencer Putney and Caden Berry. Row 7, Matt Hinkle and Jeremy Christensen. Row 8, Nick Larry, Ty Williams. Row 9, Jimbo Rooney and Jay Schaff. Row 10, Stephen Metcalf, Fred Hoffman. Row 11, Charles New and Joseph Truskowski. All right, Tim, it's that time of the night to pick your driver to watch. Who do you have your eye on?
Oh boy. I don't have a clue. You know what? I'm gonna choose Mason Hannigan here.
Yeah, starting on the front row, 3-time defending winner, maybe trying to make it 4 in a row here tonight. Starting from the best spot in the field to do so. I'm going to be keeping my eye on the 121 machine here tonight of Landon Cardoza, as he's going to be on the inside of row number 2. Let us know out there in the chat your drivers to watch. You can stay connected with Regal Promotions Esports to never miss an update on upcoming events and broadcasts. You can go to www.regalpromotions.com or on Facebook at Regal Promotions Esports. Green flag is in the air for Mason Hannigan. We're ready to rock and roll at the Kokomo Speedway for 40 laps. Hannigan wrapped the bottom, but Royea got the car hooked up on the outside. He's going to be challenging for the lead at the finish line. They were neck and neck. I think Hannigan just barely led the lap, but Royea out of turn 2 leads. Hannigan still trying on the inside, but look who's following Royea on the outside, Tim. That's the 121 of Cardoza. Szerzynski in the 23 machine there, 143 on our timing and scoring also. Hannigan's been using the inside line, and he's fallen back to 4th.
Yeah, he's trying to get something going.
Szerzynski hard in the outside wall. Car is on its side. Yellow flag displayed. It does land on all 4 wheels. Wild ride for Szerzynski there. We'll go back and take a look at the full replay, but as we were watching Hannigan, Szerzynski's going for a wild ride. So we'll go back and take a look. That's the tricky thing about running the outside here at Kokomo. You get a little bit too high. Oh, we hit the wall a little bit there in the opening area, and then it kind of pulled him on up in the outside. Oh, Hannigan did get a part of that as he made contact with Szerzynski as he was sliding sideways. So Alex Szerzynski for sure will have to visit the Dirt Series Promotions pit lane. With years of experience in the sim racing industry, Dirt Series Promotions has built a solid reputation as a leader in high-quality racing, offering a range of competitive divisions like the ever-popular Dirt Late models. Be sure to check them out for some of the best racing action on the sim. Facebook, Dirt Series Promotions, and website, dirtseries.com. Back up front, green flag back in the air for Trevor Royea. Landon Cardoza following him closely in the second spot. And then you got Logan Trimmer already +6 into position 3. Ryan Sheet holds on to 4th. Spencer Putney rounds out the top 5, and then it's kind of side-by-side battling from there. Caden Berry, Richie Gaines, 6th and 7th, and you got Jay Schaff in 8th. Dustin Sargent in 9th, trying to work the inside. Is it so far early on in this one, Tim, the outside line has been the preferred groove?
Yeah, we got a yellow. It seems like every time you call upon me, there's a yellow here.
I know. I don't know what that's about, but I think maybe Jeremy Christensen involved. We'll go back and take a look. You see him working to the inside of Fred Hoffman there. Oh, yep, out of 4. Hoffman actually clips the right rear of Christensen, and his car goes for a spin on the front straightaway. And he just barely got it back righted before the leaders got there. Oh, no major damage to his machine, but Trevor Royea remains out front. I tell you, a little bit of a storyline as we, work through these opening 9 laps, Tim, is the driver you picked to watch tonight, Mason Hannigan, has slid back quite substantially. He's now scored in the 15th position in that machine.
Yeah, he could just be not quite good on the short run. Maybe he's built something for the long run here. We're gonna see how he can come back, but he is staying committed to that very inside line, and
Absolutely.
it seems like that line does pick up pace as we go through the night, but you got to get the laps for it to come in, I think, as we got another yellow here.
Yes, we do. I think we got Ty Williams and Fred Hoffman both with a bit of an issue. We're going to keep an eye on Ty Williams in the 16 machine. Fred Hoffman spun a little bit there out of 2. Oh, Ty Williams did about the same thing Szerzynski did, making contact with that outside wall. Car got slow. Car comes to a stop there in the middle of 3 and 4. The yellow flag had to be displayed here for Ty Williams. Fred Hoffman had a separate incident, so see Caden Berry had to go into the pit area. He's now rejoining at the tail. Pit road was busy there after that yellow. A couple drivers brought their cars in. $11 laps complete here in the Hoosier Throwdown. Also, tonight's winner receives free entry into the event tomorrow night. Regal is putting on. That's round number 2 in the Northeast Dirt Modified Division. Money on the line in that one. The coverage will be right here on the Buckeye Racing Network. Green flag back in the air for Trevor Royea. There are 3 wide out of turn 2 for second. Cardoza takes advantage of that. Trimmer trying to take advantage. He moves into the 3rd spot. Sheet and Putney still battling side by side now for the 4th position. Putney on the inside, Sheet up on the cushion. And they're going to remain that way through 3 and 4. And there's side by side battles throughout the field. Oh my goodness, Putney almost with an issue. He goes down and shuts the door on Hannigan, who's now back up to the 7th spot, Tim. Like you said, been working the bottom, been committed down there, and slowly but surely working his way back up through the field.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult as we get another yellow here.
Oh no, the streak can't continue. I am sorry about that. Maybe Joseph Truskowski with an issue. There was a car we've seen with a missing wing there. In that one of those last camera frames, you see Ty Williams get spun sideways. They're just behind that. Szerzynski up in the outside wall again. Scurrying up there as well. Scurrying clips the 412 of Truskowski, and Truskowski goes for a flip there at the entry to turn number 1. And there comes the leader, Trevor Royea. So Yellow flag had to be displayed. A couple of cars picking up the tail of the field. Trevor Royer, Landon Cardoza, Logan Trimmer, Ryan Sheet, Richie Gaines, the top 5. Hannigan, Mason Hannigan 6th, Spencer Putney 7th, Jay Schaff 8th, Bowen Smith 9th, and Jimbo Rooney rounds out the top 10 as the pace truck peels off. Tim, get us going for the restart.
All right, we're going to have Trevor Royer. He's going to lead them off as Cardoza is following. And we also have Logan Trimmer, who was way down on the bottom. I didn't notice him at first. He has lost 2 spots by running the bottom as Hannigan shoots down there. He's trying to make a pass as he loses 2 spots running the bottom now as well.
Hannigan staying committed down there, and he's getting that car rolling. Just got to get a little bit of momentum built up. Outside line is getting very tricky. These drivers are running a fine line. Cardoza with a big move. The slide job on Royer took the lead for just a moment. Royer back to the inside to take over the top spot once again. Cardoza with a big move into 1 and 2. They're going to continue to trade the top spot. Royer says, thank you very much. I'll turn back underneath you and take the lead as we come to the line. 20 laps down, 20 to go, halfway. Ryan Sheet 3rd, Logan Trimmer 4th. Hannigan now rounds out the top 5.
Oh, Cardoza able to fend off Royer right there as Royer now sends it down into 1.
And I'll tell you what, we're only a lap or so away from lap traffic as the leaders are coming up on the back of the field. Charles New, Michael Scurring right in front of them, and they are hot and heavily swapping the top position, allowing Ryan Sheet, Logan Trimmer to catch up. Scurring into the wall right in front of the leaders. They have to take evasive action. Royer and Cardoza by Scurring. Now Sheet has to find a way around. Wow, lap traffic is going to play a role as the 221 machine of Charles New right there in front of Cardoza. Ryan Sheet still has not been able to get around the 07 of Scurring as he's having a tough time. He's got Logan Trimmer right there on his tail tank. Mason Hannigan there, as well as I think Sheet got into the outside wall ever so slightly. A little bit of a stack up for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Richie Gaines will catch this group if they ain't too careful. Hannigan with a big move down to the inside. Slides across the nose of Sheet, and he wasn't quite clear. And Scurring with an issue, and he collects, I believe, that was Sheet in the 10 machine, and a couple other cars are tangled up there. Bowen Smith, and there's the 017 of Spencer Putney. But originally, the yellow flag was caused by Ryan Sheet and Michael Scurring. So keep an eye on Sheet and Scurring. Scurring in that pink 07. There was the issue with Hannigan for Sheet, and Scurring got up in the outside wall. Sheet, with all that momentum, could not check up. And unfortunately, those 2 cars get tangled together. Oh my, Spencer Putney, big hit on Sheet in the 10 machine.
Oh, it created quite a big chain reaction here.
It absolutely did. As we're already 2 by 2, Landon Cardoza, Trevor Royer, the front row, Logan Trimmer, Mason Hannigan, the second row, Richie Gaines, Jay Schaff, row number 3. Cardoza steps on the gas. We are back underway. 27 laps complete, 13 laps to go. Trimmer looked down to the inside, had a good run down there for a moment, but Royer retakes the 2nd position. Hannigan now looking to challenge Royer just ever so slightly as he's up on the outside running the cushion. Cade Berry in the 112 machine. He's down on the inside trying to make some headway down low. I'm telling you, Berry's got that car rolling down there, making some good lap time now. the caution definitely helped get everything caught back up. So anybody in the top 5 or 6 has got a chance, as there's now 10 laps remaining. Can Cardoza hold on for his first win of the season?
Royea, outside wall. Royea into the outside wall. Hannigan just able to slide by as Caden Berry continues to run that very bottom.
Absolutely. Hannigan and Berry now side by side for the second spot, just about 9/10 of a second back from Cardoza. 8 laps to go. There's still a little bit of time for the top 3 drivers or so. Hannigan and Berry still fierce side by side. Hannigan all the way up on the outside wall. Berry all the way down by the tires on the inside. Cardoza says, you guys just keep battling. I'm going to try to run away, as he has stretched the advantage a little bit as the yellow flag gets displayed, and that advantage will be erased. And I believe potentially Jimbo Rooney with an issue in the 27. We're going to take a look at it.
Yeah, Bowen Smith, Stephen Metcalf.
Oh, yeah, Jimbo Rooney got up into the outside wall in 1 and 2, and his car went flipping and kind of rode that fence line. See, it comes to rest on the wheels, and here comes Metcalf. Here comes Bowen Smith. Gets collected in that. Does Putney get a piece of it? Yes, he does in that 17 machine. 2 more cars go flipping down the back straightaway. So another chain reaction type event from that one, Tim.
Oh! A little contact with Cardoza and the car that came out of the pits.
I saw that. That would have been, I'm not sure who that was that came out of the pit area. I'm sure neither one of them knew exactly where the other one was, so just accidental contact there between the two. As the lights go out on the pace truck, single file restart this time. Cardoza's got 5 laps to try to get his first win of the season. Mason Hannigan trying to go 4 in a row. Caden Berry trying to pick up his first win of the year, as well as Logan Trimmer. Green flag back in the air. Just 5 circuits remain in the Hoosier Throwdown. Mason Hannigan, a big move to the inside in 1 and 2. Couldn't get it to quite stick, but it was worth a try. Cardoza retakes the top spot. Now 4 to go. Caden Berry lurking down there on the inside. You got to keep an eye down there as Cardoza and Hannigan work the outside.
Hannigan ran about a lane and a half higher. He's going to try and dive it down in. He's going to try and chop the momentum off as we get another yellow. I believe that's going to put Cardoza back in the lead.
I believe you are correct. Charles New had the issue to bring the yellow flag out for the 7th time. Bounced off the wall in 1 and 2. And also made contact with the same spot Szerzinski did earlier, right there in front of the leaders. And to get that car towed to the pit area was the reason for the yellow flag. It is crunch time now. Boy, we have seen it. That was a wild restart for the top 3. Cardoza, Hannigan, Berry, all wanting to get the victory here tonight at the Kokomo Speedway, and it's still anybody's game if you're in the top 5.
No kidding.
You know, this track, it is a smaller dirt track, but with how wide it is in the corners, these drivers have tons of options to make moves. And it has shown so far tonight, and that's one thing I love about the Kokomo Speedway, is just how wide this racetrack is and the availability of lines for drivers to use throughout the night. Pace truck is off. Cardoza brings him around slowly in a single file line. He gets on the gas for the restart. Now 2 laps to go. Does he defend the bottom? No, kind of lets the car slide up to the outside wall. Hannigan following closely behind, as Cardoza maybe with a little contact there. White flag displayed. We will get the checkered flag this time. Hannigan looks to the inside. Out of 2, not quite able to do anything there. Cardoza runs the outside. Berry follows him through. And Landon Cardoza picks up his first win of the season. Mason Hannigan holds on for the second spot as there was contact after the checkered flag. Caden Berry rounds out the podium here tonight in that 112 machine. Wow, Caden Berry picking up 9 spots there in the feature, and he is also the hard charger, sharing that with Nick Larry in the 43. Both of those drivers picking up 9 positions. Larry brought his machine home in the 6th position. Here's our top 3 stopping on the front straightaway. Let's take a look at the official final results. We talked about a couple of the drivers. That was the V main results. Here we go. Landon Cardoza wins by 0.29 of a second. Caden Berry third. Mason Hannigan there in the second spot. Then Logan Trimmer fourth. A great run for him. Trevor Royea P5. Nick Larry 6th, Richie Gaines 7th, Matt Hinkle 8th, Jimbo Rooney 9th, Ty Williams 10th, Fred Hoffman 11th, Jay Schaff 12th, Stephen Metcalf 13th, Dustin Sargent 14th, Spencer Putney 15th, Jeremy Christensen 16th, Ryan Sheet 17th, Charles New 18th tonight, 19th goes to Bowen Smith, 20th to Joseph Truskowski, 21st to Michael Skirring, and 22nd to Alex Szerzynski. All right, we're going to move into our interview portion here tonight. I believe a couple of the drivers are ready, just waiting on one more for our interviews. Wow, what a finish we've seen there, Tim, here tonight. Just like I said earlier, I like the lines these drivers are able to use all night long here at Kokomo.
Yeah, it just it goes back to just I feel like it's just the shape of the track, and then you got like I said at the beginning, at the top of the broadcast, how it's basically an inverted banking for the first 2-3 lanes, and then all of a sudden it's like a flat lane, and then you got 2 banked lanes that aren't inverted.
Yeah, absolutely. It just put on a great show for us. I see all of our drivers available for their interviews. We're going to start things off with our third place finisher, Caden Berry. Hey, Caden, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. What a night. +9 in the feature. We seen you get down to the bottom there and was trying to challenge Hannigan and Cardoza. I believe you did a few times. Just stayed committed down low. Cardoza was up top. I mean, I know we had a couple late race yellows and bunched everything back up. Did you need something maybe a little different tonight in your car? Or were you somewhat happy with it and just hoping for maybe a mistake from the top two?
No, I mean, I think what really hurt me was the beginning of the race there. I was sort of already up front there, and then, we got caught up. I think it was Bowen that spun out, or half spun in front of me, and we just had nowhere to go. We ended up, collecting into that, so it broke my front end, and I was going to run it the rest of the way like that, with me being, sort of up front there. I think I was like 5th at least, and no, I just couldn't really, run it like that anymore, especially with, at here at Kokomo's, it gets pretty tight quick. Just the car wasn't square, so it just didn't feel right, and it just felt horrible. So I had to go in, which I really didn't want to do, because that was going to put me back to 22nd. But yeah, no, all in all, I mean, I'm pretty happy coming from 22nd, back up to the podium. I feel like I'm definitely good enough to win these, still, but it's just every time I feel like I just get caught up in just bad luck there, having to go back to the back for, something, stupid like that. And then, I have to drive, by all those cars just to get back to the podium. I just feel like if I can just get one, good luck weekend here with you guys, be able to win again, just not getting caught up into things. But, no, all in all, like I said, I'm pretty happy, even with getting caught up in just a lot of stuff here recently, still being able to finish on the podium is pretty cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, there was a couple things that happened. I don't know if we caught what happened between you and Bowen on the broadcast, but I'm glad you brought it up and let everybody know about it here tonight. But a great effort for you putting it on the podium. Tim, do you have anything for Caden?
Yeah, Caden, do you take any of the momentum that you feel like you gained through iRacing and transfer it to the real world of racing? As I've seen a couple people refer uh, the 19th for you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, iRacing, I think ever since day one, kind of just used motivation and got a lot. I've actually learned a lot off of iRacing. Just racing all the time, throwing sliders, battling with a lot of people on here, helped me, put me through different scenarios. So like if I, go through those scenarios in real life, obviously it's gonna help me, go through those scenarios a lot better, in the real world. But no, yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, iRacing's just always helped me, since pretty much the get-go, and that's why I've always done it, just to keep my skills sharp, during the off season. And now I'm pretty excited to use all the skills that I've learned, this year so far in iRacing, and put it all together, because I've just gotten better and better every year in real life, from iRacing. So I'm just excited to put all the new skills that I've learned this year so far in the 2025 season and put it to the real world. And yeah, just hopefully we can do good on the 19th on our first race. And yeah.
All right, Caden. Well, good luck in real life racing. Before we let you go tonight, anybody you need to thank?
Yeah, first and foremost, got to give all glory to God. Can't do anything without Him. My mom and dad, my nan and grandpa, my grandmother Cece, my Grammy Ryder, TJ, Tim and Kevin, my sponsors, Granite State Blacktoppers, uh, Juice Powder Coating, CRC, ZMAX, Driven to Save Lives, Victory Fuel, Terminal Graphics, Ryder Family Sawmill, John Bears, Legacy Racing, and got to thank you guys for putting on the show.
All right, Caden. I certainly appreciate the kind words tonight. We'll let you celebrate that top 3 finish.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that was our third place finisher tonight. Let's talk to P2. Hey, Mason, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. You bring that machine home in the second spot. You started up front, and I believe maybe tried to save some tire as you slid back through the field. I think all the way down to 15th at one point, then got on it, got the car back up towards the front. I know we had some yellows to navigate through. You used the bottom there for a majority of it. Also seen you move up to the outside. You and Cardoza had a fierce battle there at the end. Did you need something a little different to try to improve one spot and pick up 4 in a row?
I just didn't need to get crashed on the fourth lap. That just destroyed my car. If we were in real life, I wouldn't even finish the race. But thankfully, we got a fast repair. So yeah, I had to restart. I looked and I think I restarted 20th there because I mean we were only 4 laps in. So uh, yeah, the only reason I really went to the bottom was just because I knew nobody else was going to be down there. I know some of these guys aren't really familiar with Kokomo, and I've raced there plenty of times. So, and I knew kind of like after warm up, it was going to be pretty good, and nobody really knew it, and I don't think anybody was kind of set up free enough to run it. And I was just set up free enough to run it, and everybody was running through the middle and the top. So, I just clicked off, until I got basically I think back to fifth, rolling the bottom there. Nothing to do with saving tire, and I don't really 410 stuff, like on a 50 lap race, saving tires decently important, but 360 deal not too much. So, um, and then yeah, when I got back to the front, obviously you gotta move up. That was a faster lane all night, and that's just how it is here. I mean, Caden got to us, I think, running the bottom there, but especially when it slicks off getting off the corner. So, yeah, I think I needed more time to get to Landon. I definitely didn't need that caution on lap 36. We were just talking about it a minute ago, and I'm pretty sure we were going to race to the checker there, no matter what. Just because how I slid him and kind of how the line he had getting into three, and then the next thing I know, we had a car backed into the fence. So it is what it is, and then he did a really good job of protecting there. Um, on coming to the white, I think I tried sliding him, and I didn't know he kind of ducked to the bottom. He ducked to the middle there, I guess, and slid himself, a lot earlier than I expected, and I kind of expect him just to go to the top and rip it, but. Other than that, yeah, he's ripping, and he's been on my ass all year. So, yeah, second's not bad from coming from the rear there.
No, absolutely it is not. Tim, do you have anything for Mason? Tim, you still there?
I'm here. I accidentally hit the wrong button on my keyboard again. But as you were saying before, I lost the question. Damn. Yeah. Well, I guess that's it.
Okay. Well, Mason, before we let you go tonight, anybody you need to thank for the effort?
All the boys at Black Diamond. Can't thank them enough. Velocity Race Designs, Ross Corina, Tim Sims, and yeah, I can't thank Andrew for putting this deal on. It's been pretty fun, and we still got a long season to look forward to. So, yeah, can't thank Regal Promotions enough for this deal.
All right, Mason. Well, great recovery after going down the pit lane to get back into the top 3 and finish second here tonight. We'll let you celebrate that.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that was our second place finisher. Let's talk to our winner tonight. Hey, Landon, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. You get your first win of the season here. Also, I believe you get free entry into tomorrow's night's event. So I guess first and foremost, are you planning on running the Dirt Modifieds tomorrow night, the Spring Fever event?
Well, we'll see. I gotta run some laps. I don't even actually think I own the car at the
Oh,
moment.
okay.
I've got setups for them though, so I'll go in tonight and see how I feel. I don't want to go in there and make a joke of myself, but I'll definitely try.
All right, so we got that out of the way. But run a race for you in the 121. You use that outside line as well as a bunch of other drivers. But you and Hannigan were definitely battling. Didn't want that late caution. I know that you guys were going to put on a whale of a show, and you did anyways. But you were trading the top spot in racing, and how does it feel to get your first win of the season here tonight?
Oh, it's amazing. Finally, I feel like these last couple weeks with small tracks, I would have to say I'm my best at small tracks. So I'm excited for the next couple weeks after next week. But no, it feels amazing. Finally, just kind of put a whole night together. Lanier, I'm always quick, and I just made a ton of mistakes that night. Same thing last week at Lincoln, just never could make a pass. And luckily this week, this track's a little bit racier, and it kind of fits my style more, just hammering the cushion, and it ended up working out.
Yes, sir, it did. Tim?
Yeah. Was there any worry late in the race as you seen a couple sliders thrown your way to take away that win from you?
100%, man. I mean, I set up for 40 laps because I knew we had 40 laps, but I didn't go as aggressive as I probably should have. Probably should have went down a couple chips on gear and just be a little bit tighter. I was tight early, but I ended up really struggling the last couple cautions, and it was scary. Me and Mason are really close friends, and it's always fun to race him. But when you know he's coming from behind, especially when he went all the way from the back with that little incident he had, he's coming with a full head of steam, and he's not one to joke with.
I'll tell you what, you're able to fend him off here tonight. Before we let you go, Landon, anybody you need to thank?
Just always the normal people. Fusion Setup Shop, Colin Bocus, Dustin Sargent, Kyle, Matt, just everyone that helps me get around every single week.
All right. Well, again, big congratulations on the win here tonight at the Kokomo Speedway. We'll let you celebrate it.
Thank you, guys.
All right. That was our winner, Landon Cardoza. And that's going to wrap up our interview portion here tonight. Closing thoughts from you, Tim.
Just a crazy night of racing. Just as I said earlier, I just didn't know what to call half the time.
Yeah, I mean, Kokomo, I really, I've said this now a lot. I really like this racetrack. It puts on good racing. Drivers can move around, run the bottom, run the middle, run the extreme outside line, and always puts on a good show here for us in the booth. Upcoming for us on the Buckeye Racing Network tomorrow night, we'll be live with Regal Promotions Esports, the Spring Fever Modified event. That's the next round of racing in that division. Money on the line. Again, Cardoza got a free entry winning tonight. You heard he potentially is going to run in that. We'll have the coverage tomorrow night in the Spring Fever. And then after that, it will be next Monday night for the next round number 6, I believe, of the 360 Sprint division. And that's going to do it tonight for Tim and I from the Kokomo Speedway. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Good night.